Good evening, and thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join me on tonight. Listen, I need you to go ahead and tag, text them, call them, wake them up, tell them, jump on really quick. There is a word from the Lord on tonight. I need you to tag at least 10 people. Go ahead and tag them right now. We'll wait a few minutes. All of y'all over there on YouTube, I see y'all over there. Run over to Facebook, drop this on your page, tag some people. Then you can run back to YouTube and put it up on the big screen so the whole family can enjoy it together. And good evening to all my sold out international babies. I know they watching with their notebooks. Y'all listen. I have to brag on the babies at Sold Out International. When I tell you, they bring me their questions, they study their work. Can y'all just say to God be the glory for the youth at Sold Out International? Those babies are learning the word. Those babies are studying. Those babies told me, look, we need it. We want Sunday school. So we working out some things to get Sunday school on Sundays for them. Listen, I am so proud of what God is doing in the youth. The adults, y'all coming along. Y'all gonna be all right. But can I brag on the babies? Listen, y'all know Dr. 3 love the kids. Listen, I'm so proud. I love to see them studying. I got one. Ari will work the altar just like Dr. 3. Listen, I love the kids. I love how they study. I love how Auntie comes to me with her little notebook telling me stuff every week. I love when I look over there and I see Janaya with her notebook taking notes on Sunday. It blesses me to know that the youth are even paying attention to what the Lord is saying. Because y'all know they're the future, right? Y'all do know we're gonna have to turn this over to them. So I just look at them like I just got to equip them so they can take the reins. Listen, so I'm excited about what he is doing and what he is raising up. The Bible, Joel said, okay, y'all, your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Listen, I'm sitting back watching it happen. I'm sitting back watching them, God, download visions and dreams, and they telling me about it. Dr. Reed, this is what the Lord showed me. This is what the Lord said. I was in prayer. I was fasting. And I'm looking like, you know what? I'm like, God, you doing this. And I am here for it. Listen, I'm just excited about what God is doing in this kingdom, in his kingdom, in this hour. I am literally watching him raise up people who say, I ain't never gonna be doing it. I'm watching them do it. I'm like, there it is. I'm watching him remove the shyness off of people. I'm watching him pulling people, what we would say that was in the back. He pulling them all the way to the front. I'm watching God pull people who say, I'm just going to work the background. God said, no, you ain't. No, you ain't. No, you ain't. And he's making them come forward. He's pushing them. As soon as he tell Dr. 3, y'all know I'm going to push you. I'm going to push you. I believe that my assignment is to raise them up, send them out. Raise them up, send them out. These are God's people. Okay, let me get to this word because I'm going on a tangent on that. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. You all know I'm your girl. I'm God's girl, Dr. Elizabeth P3, pastor, founder, Sold Out International, girls, God's girl, worshiping warfare, all those things. Listen, but most of all, I am a servant of the Lord Most High. Let's jump into this word on tonight, y'all. If you were in the house Sunday, I think we made it. And y'all listen, those of you that have never made it to the house yet. We was done in an hour. When I say God come through and wreck the place, he just listen. I be looking at Evangelist Hines Rebecca. I be looking at Evangelist Rebecca Hines Bell. Like, you know what? She be looking at me. I be looking at her like, but don't look at me. I don't know what God doing. He comes through and wreck the house. And I love the fact that God has blessed us with such a psalmist that's willing to lean into what God's saying in that hour, in that moment, and not trying to do her own thing. We lean into whatever God's saying. And that is something that is spectacular that I see him doing in this hour, and I'm excited about it. But listen, Sunday, we were done. We had communion. We had Holy Communion. And we ain't rushed nothing. It's just God came through and wrecked the place. And I was like, all right, where's communion time? And so we talked about on Sunday the dying new. So if you didn't listen to that live from Sunday, you got to go back and look at it. We talked about the dying new, something that the Jewish have been doing for over 2,000 years. And it's just basically saying, if it had not been for the Lord, where would I be? If he hadn't done this, it would have been enough. If he hadn't done this, it would have been enough. If he hadn't done that, it would have been enough. And so it's just really a whole, they actually sing it or they may say it, and especially during the Passover, because they're reflecting on the fact that God brought them out of Egypt. And so they're talking about how grateful they are for every act that happened. And if he had never done the next act, it would what he had done was more than enough. But y'all know we say, if it had not been for the Lord who was on my side, that's how we say it. But we getting into the main point of this is being grateful. Drop that in the chat. I must be grateful. Grateful. Because I understand that we are a very spoiled generation. We're used to getting what we want, when we want, how we want. We need it quick. We don't want to wait. We don't want patience to have a perfect work. We want it right now. But have you ever stopped to be grateful for what you already have? And let me tell y'all something. God used me mightily, I believe, on Sunday. I preached that word. I preached it with everything in me. Because that's just how I do on Sunday. My goal is I gotta empty out everything he's given me concerning this word. So that's my objective every single Sunday. I'm gonna empty out. So got to church, did that. Powerful time in the Lord. Holy Communion. Came home. Actually went to bed. I was not even up late. I think I slept about 7 hours, which is odd for me on a Sunday. Went to bed, slept about 7 hours. I woke up because Monday we started our fast. We're fasting all over to Pentecost Sunday. So Monday I woke up, did my whole devotion, spent my time with the Lord, all that before I even got ready for work, before I even left the house for work. So I did all that. And something came across my news feed on, I think, something I was looking at. I don't know I think it was like a message or something I got. And it took me all the way. My mind just started being like, well, why? Well, I don't know why they got, well, I don't know why this, and I don't know why that. And then I started comparing. Watch this, y'all. Can I be transparent? I started comparing, and I could just be, can I be, I'm going to be transparent. I started comparing where Sold Out was to where they were. And I didn't like that. I started comparing where Sold Out was to where they were. And I said, wait a minute now. And so then I started kind of getting in my feelings. But why we don't have X, Y, and Z? Well, why this ain't happening in Sold Out? And why? And I don't understand. And I started going down. Have anybody else been there? You looked at what somebody else was doing. And let me correct this. You didn't get jealous of it, but it made you question what you had. Okay. If that's you, I'm gonna watch the chat for a minute. I just need to see if I'm in the right vein. If after Sunday anybody else experienced this. Okay. I'm gonna wait because I'm watching the chat. I want to know, did anybody else experience this anytime since Sunday? Or have you ever experienced where you were doing okay till you saw what went on? And then it started making you kind of feel some type of way. That was Dr. 3. And so I started looking at what Sold Out had and where we were. And I was kind of looking what they had. And I was like, it wasn't that I was jealous, but I was just trying to, well, wait a minute now, because we're a year in. You know, May Sold Out. We've been in our building a year. And so I got my feelings. And then I started talking, and then my admin, you know, poor thing, she had to get me all the way. Everybody say, God bless Emily. She has to get me all the way together. And she said, first of all, she let me get it all out. She said, first of all, you're being too hard on yourself. She said, because I don't even understand what is going on with you right now. And because, and then let me just say this, to know me is to know that y'all can be swinging from the ceilings on Sunday. When I get home and I get in God, did I please you? God, did I say everything? God, did I empty completely out? Did I leave anything? That's what I do when I get home. Y'all can say the service was amazing. Y'all felt the glory, the angels and all this. When I get home, for me, it's God, did I please you? Because I'm the servant. Did I do everything that you sent me to do? Did I say everything that you did? I hope I didn't get out of character. God, did I please you? That's every Sunday, every sermon. Even after I get off this live, that's what's gonna happen. I'm telling y'all now. So anyway, Emily was like, I think you're just too hard on yourself. And I said, yeah, but it's just I've always been like this. I said, I want the absolute best when it comes to the kingdom of God. I want to make sure that I'm doing everything he told me to do. I want to make sure that Sold Out is on track. And so she began to tell me, she said, well, I think the problem is, she said, you're not looking at where Sold Out is right now. Ooh, y'all. It shook me, and God said, you just preached about it. He said, are you great? Y'all. He said, are you grateful for what I've already done? Can I be honest? Because I looked at what was going on somewhere else, and I was like, wait a minute, I could Sold Out, because I know we doing the work over here. And God had, and through Emily, God had to remind me it was a rebuke. Can I be honest? It was a rebuke. And after she said that, I went and sat on the side of the bed, and I just began to go down a list of thanking him. God, I thank you, because after 1 year, okay, I said, after 1 year, we have an outreach ministry that's up and running. After 1 year, we have a women's ministry that's up and running, a men's ministry that's up and running, a youth ministry that's up and running, a singles ministry that's up and running, God's girl that's up and I begin to go down the list of things and all the things youth doing stuff on Sunday, the finances of the church, having your own building, don't have no bills but rent, and God began to say, you, and it reminded me of being grateful. Watch this. For what God has already done. And so when I started doing it, I went in my time of prayer and devotion, and the whole about 3 hours I was there was about, God, I'm sorry that I didn't take time to, I know that I appreciate what you've done, but for a moment I looked at what you was doing, what was happening for someone else, and I got in my feelings. Because I know that we're doing the work over here. And God began to tell me, he says, daughter, it's nothing wrong with you seeing what somebody else is feeling some type of way. He said, but at the same time, you better be grateful for what I've already done. And know that I got it. Okay, who is this for? And know that everybody is not moving at the same pace. And know that you don't know what's going on behind the scenes with somebody else's. You know what's going on right here. Because I told Sold Out debt free. Okay. Who am I talking to? Why are you getting in your feelings about what somebody else got? You don't know what they're doing to get that. You don't know what it took for them to get what they have. And you don't know what they're going through to keep it. I just want to be transparent and share that, because some people think because we pastors and leaders, and I just say this all the time, I'm just the lead servant. Away with all the titles. I'm just a lead servant. And watch this. And so a lot of times people would think they put us up on this pedestal, like they ain't never going through, and they always think they always got it together. No, we have moments too. Where we want things to speed up. And God said, I need your daughter to lay the foundation. You're not done laying the foundation. Because once you, okay, who is this for? Because once you lay this foundation, it will not be shaken. And you're not going to build on top of a weak. Oh, God, I'm saying something right there. You're not going to build on top of a weak foundation. Drop that in the chat. I will no longer build on a weak foundation. Everything has to be put in order, line upon line, precept upon precept. Everything has to be in order. Okay, now let's get to this, because I want to deal with this on tonight about being grateful. What this is going to bless y'all. Tonight is power in being grateful. Can y'all just drop that in the chat? Power in being grateful. Watch this. Being grateful will transform your life. Being grateful will transform your life by shifting focus from trials to divine, watch this, blessings. It will foster peace. It will give you resilience, and it'll give you joy. Watch this. It strengthens your faith, cultivates humility, and it will align your will with God. Watch this. It will reduce anxiety. Watch this. And it will act as a gateway to experiencing divine peace during difficult times. Oh my God. When I'm grateful, watch this, for what I already have, it says it will cause me to experience divine peace during difficult times. Dr. 3, watch this. Look at what somebody else was doing, how they were moving, and got in her feelings. But the minute I got before God and got my whole self together, I slept like a baby for about 9 hours. Woke up, went to work, and had the best day at work. Divine peace. Because y'all know right now them kids is all the way, y'all kids is all the way off the chain. They look, they sick of the teachers and the teachers sick of them too. And I keep saying this teacher appreciation week. Don't you appreciate me? Listen, after I got myself together, slept about 9 hours, went to work, had a wonderful day. Watch this. Says, being grateful will transform your life because it will shift your focus from trials or whatever you're in to divine blessings. It will foster peace. It will give you resilience and joy. You'll keep going. You won't get stuck in your emotions. You won't walk around with an attitude. Because I'm gonna tell you, after I saw that morning, I walked around with attitude all day. Everything them kids did got on my nerves. Somebody emailed me something I know I needed. It still got on my nerves. Well, now, Dr. Green, how was you gonna get that done if you didn't get that email? Don't email me nothing. I'd have done better to just stay home that day, to be honest. I had an attitude all day until I got in the presence of God. And I remembered that if it had not been, y'all, for what he had already done, I had to be reminded. Watch this. Let's look at Daniel. Daniel is the perfect example of this. Daniel 6, and I'm going to read this fast because I'm going to read verses 10 through 26. Daniel 6. Drop that in the chat. I'm going to learn to be grateful. I'm learning to be grateful. Let's put it that way. I am learning to be grateful. Okay, Daniel 6, verses 10 through 26. Now, when Daniel learned that the decree had been published, he went home to his upstairs room where the windows were open toward Jerusalem. 3 times a day, he got down on his knees and prayed, giving thanks to his God, just as he had done before. I'm going to start over. Daniel learned that the decree had been published. You know what? And watch this. So he goes home. He do what he been always doing. He went home to his upper room where the window was open toward Jerusalem. And 3 times a day, he got down on his knees and he prayed, giving thanks to his God, just as he had done before. Then these men went as a group and found Daniel praying and asking God for help. So they went to the king and spoke to him about the royal decree. Did you not publish a decree that during the next 30 days, anyone who prays to any god or any human being except to you, your majesty, you were going to throw them in the lion's den? The king answered, the decree stands in accordance with the law of the Medes and the Persians, which cannot be replaced. Verse 13. Then they said to the king, Daniel, your boy, here we go. Daniel, your boy, who is one of the exiles from Judah, he ain't pay no attention to you, your majesty, or to the decree you put in writing. He's still praying 3 times a day. When the king heard this, he was greatly distressed. He was listen, the king, watch this, was determined to rescue Daniel and made every effort, watch this, until sundown to save him. The king did not want Daniel. He said, oh, God, I'd have made this decree and I'm going to have to throw my boy in the lion's den. He was trying his best to get Daniel out of it. Said all day to sundown. Watch this. Says Says, verse 15. Then the men went as a group to King Darius and said to him, remember, your majesty, that according to the law of the Medes and Persians, no decree or edict that the king issues, it can't be changed. Watch this. You can't change your mind. Verse 16. So the king gave the order, and they brought Daniel, threw him into the lion's den. The king said to Daniel, may your God whom you serve continually. I'm going to stop right there. May the God, listen to this. May the God that you serve continually rescue you. Woo, Jesus. Somebody drop in the chat, continually. Because I keep telling people, I said, in this season, you got to be consistent. You got to be consistent. You got to be consistent. He says, Daniel, may the God you serve, listen, continually rescue you. Verse 17. A stone was brought and placed over the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet ring and with the rings of his nobles, so that Daniel's situation might not be changed. Verse 18. Then the king returned to his palace. Watch this. The king went back to his palace, his comfortable place. He went back to his palace, and he spent the night he couldn't eat, and without any entertainment being brought to him, and he could not sleep. This how much this bothered him. Says in verse 19, at the first light of dawn, the king got up and ran to the lion's den. Verse 20, when he came near the den, he called to Daniel in an anguished voice, Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God whom you serve. Okay, let me calm down. Because I could just imagine how he felt like maybe the God that he served is real. So could you imagine what the king was praying out or thinking all night? Say he didn't sleep, he couldn't eat. He don't even bother me. He was trying to figure out a way. He did not want Daniel to go in that lion's den. Watch this. So he runs to the den, verse 20. Says, when he came to the den, he called out to Daniel in anguish. Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God whom you serve continually been able to rescue you from the lion's den? Watch this. Verse 21. Daniel answered, may the king live forever. Woo, Jesus. May the king live forever. My God sent an angel. Okay. Oh, God. I felt something come all over me. Let me calm it down. My God sent his angel and shut the mouths of the lions. They have not hurt me because I was found innocent in his sight, nor have I ever done any wrong before you, your majesty. The king was overjoyed and gave orders to lift Daniel out of the den. And when Daniel was lifted from the den, no wound was found on him because he had trusted in his God. Watch this, verse 24. At the king's command, the men who had falsely accused Daniel were brought in and thrown into the lion's den along with their wives and children. They put their mouth on Daniel, and it turned and it backfired not only on them, but on their wives and their children. I keep telling y'all, better be careful who you put your mouth on. It says, oh God. Wait a minute, I lost my, I got caught up on that. The king was overjoyed. He gave orders to lift Daniel out the den. And when Daniel was lifted out, they found no wound on him because he had trusted in God. And at his command, the men who had falsely accused Daniel were brought in and thrown into the lion's den along with their wives and their children. And listen to this. About to show y'all something. Pay close attention. When you read the Bible, read the Bible. It says, I'm in verse 24. And before they even reached the floor of the den, the lions overpowered and crushed all their bones. They ain't even hit the floor. But these are the same lions that sat there and looked at Daniel all night long and didn't. Same lions. Watched Daniel all night long. But it says when they dropped them bodies down, the body didn't even hit the floor before the lions had crushed them. Says, this is in the Bible. When you read it, read it. This is verse 24. says, and before they reached the floor of the den, the lions overpowered them and crushed all their bones. Verse 24. Then King Darius wrote to all nations and people of every language in all the earth. Listen to this. In all the earth, may you prosper greatly. I issue a decree that in every part of my kingdom, people must fear and reverence the God of Daniel. Y'all, all out of Daniel's obedience. When a decree was made, you better not be praying. If you pray, you have to pray to the gods that we have. If you pray, you're going to have to be praying to King Darius. But they heard him praying because his window was open to our God. Okay, y'all, watch this. Says, Daniel didn't let that decree change his mind. You can't let what you see change your mind about what God has promised you or about what God has already done. Watch this. Says, Daniel didn't let the decree change his actions one way or another. He didn't do more praying or less. He simply, watch this. Daniel didn't start praying more and he didn't start praying less. He just kept doing what he always done. Who is this for? Says, he simply continued his excellent prayer life. Ooh. Tell me to do what I always done. Because I know that prayer works. Oh, okay. Because I know that prayer works. I know if he did it before, he'll do it again. Ooh. Watch this. Says, there was danger in both directions. It would have been a compromise to do less or pride to do more. This was not the act of a person counting martyrdom, but the continuation of a faithful ministry in prayer, which had been characterized all his life. Prayer is what I do. Because I know that it works. I watch God bring me out over and over and over and over and over again because of my prayers. So I know that my prayers work. So why do I think because I'm in this situation, I'm not going to pray? I'm grateful. Watch this. Pour gratefulness in it. Because I prayed before and I'm grateful because he always bring me out. So I'm still going to do that now. Y'all understand? Watch this. So it says he prayed in his upper room. This was private prayer. Watch this. By himself, wasn't trying to impress nobody. He prayed with his windows open. Watch this. Toward Jerusalem, remembering the place of sacrifice, even when there was no sacrifice. They prayed towards Jerusalem because that was their custom. When you pray, you turn. Right? I'll teach on that later. You turn towards Jerusalem. It's the power in that. I'll teach that later. Watch this. It says he prayed according to scripture. Yeah, here it is. It's right here in my notes. I was going to teach it later. Because in 1 Kings 8, Solomon asked God, watch this. Why did he pray towards Jerusalem with his windows open? Here we go. 1 Kings 8, Solomon asked God to give special notice to the prayers of his people when they prayed towards Jerusalem and the temple. They felt like this was a prayer. Says 1 Kings 8, if I turn towards Jerusalem, he gonna hear me. So Daniel doing what he always did. He wasn't trying to let them hear him. That's just what they did. That was custom. Watch this. He knelt down on his knees and he was praying. He prayed 3 times a day. That's what he always did. This wasn't nothing new. It says, listen, he prayed and, watch this, he was praying and giving thanks for what God had already done, despite it may cost me my life. I'm still grateful. Me being grateful may cost me my life. Ooh, Jesus. Daniel thinking me being grateful may cost me my life. But guess what? I still got to be grateful at any cost, by any means. Can somebody drop that in the chat? Be grateful by any means necessary. Daniel, thrown in the lion's den because he chose to show God thanks. Because his prayer was all about thanking God. It wasn't for give me this and give me that and can you help me? Bring me out, Jesus. Get me out. Pay my light bill and my water bill. It wasn't about that. It was about being grateful for what he already done. That's what the prayer was about. And that prayer could very well cost me my life. I don't care. I got to show that I'm grateful. Woo, Jesus. And watch what happens because he was grateful in the midst of chaos. Watch what happened when he was grateful in the midst of his life being threatened. Who is this for? Watch what, instead of him complaining about, oh Lord, I would pray, but I can't pray because you know if I pray right now, they're gonna come and give me, Lord, I can't pray. Lord, I don't want to because if they see me, I'm gonna just mumble. I'm gonna get in the same posture and I'm gonna pray out loud like I've been doing. Who is this for? I'm going to remain my stance of grateful. Ooh, drop this in the chat. I'm going to remain in my stance of gratefulness regardless. I'm going to remain in my stance, that means my position and my posture of gratefulness regardless. His posture was on his knees. His stance was prayer. He said regardless. And watch what happened. Says he prayed and he gave thanks. They found him praying. Watch this. They found David just as they knew they knew. Y'all, they knew this. They wanted to see what Daniel was going to do. So they scoped him out. We see what you're going to do now. Hell, but look, he didn't put a decree out. And on some of y'all, all hell broke loose. Somebody watch to see what you're going to do. I'm going to do what I always did. I'm going to give thanks. Because if he did it before, he'll do it again. And guess what? If he don't do it, he already did enough. Get sick in your body. What you gonna do? Start complaining? No, I'm gonna get on my knees and thank God because he healed me. Oh, he healed me time and time again. So you know what, God? If you don't heal me this time, you already done enough. If you don't heal me this time, you already did enough because you already gave me 52 years. You could have took me out a long time ago with the first sickness, and you did, and you didn't. I'm still here. Who is this for tonight? Why are you in your feelings and you complaining? I'm grateful that you healed me the last time. Because if you didn't heal me the last time, I wouldn't have made it this many years. And I wouldn't have done X, Y, and Z. Daniel, same thing. Says, watch this. They found Daniel doing just as they knew he would. Deep in prayer. But Daniel's prayer was both communion with God and pleading for his will to be accomplished. That's how they pray. God, your will be done. If you want me to go in this lion den and be ate up by some lions and come on to glory, oh well. If you want me to come out of this and it be a testimony of you are God, then oh well. Whichever way you want this to go, God, I'm here for it. Your will be done. Because either way, you're going to get the glory. Either way, I'm going to come out of this thing and they're going to say, you know what? That's the God of Daniel. Daniel's God is this. He said, or I'm going to die in it. And they're going to say, Daniel loved God all the way to his death. He said, either way, you're going to get the glory. Who is this for tonight? Either way, God going to get the glory. That's what it means when I pray his will. Watch this. It says, let me see. The king said, your God, who, now listen to this. I love this part. The king said, King Darius said to Daniel, your God whom you serve continually, he will deliver you. King Darius, what you know about my God? Because you just put out a decree that we're supposed to be praying to either you or the gods that y'all serving. What you know about my God? Listen, it says, the king said, your God whom you serve continually, he will deliver you. Watch this. King Darius had faith. Watch this. And in it was faith born out of Daniel's trust in God. I will say this one more time. King Darius had faith because he watched Daniel. Could it be somebody but watching you? And it might build a faith if you just hold on. Oh, God. It might build a faith if you just stop complaining. It might build a faith if they see you keep pushing. Says here, Darius had faith. And it was faith born. Darius' faith came from Daniel's trust in the Lord. Listen, what did King Darius tell him? You serve continually. That was a compliment in itself. Somebody don't even serve your God, watching you and saying you serve him all the time. Every time I see you serving, every time I see you giving God glory, every time I see you praising God, every time I see you talking about God, that was a compliment to Daniel. It says this made Daniel's testimony. Watch this. It says, because many of us occasionally display godly character and wisdom before the world, but counteract the good by then being bad. We do it for the gram, as they say. We do it for social media. Post me preaching, honey. Post me doing this, post me saying this. But then behind closed doors, when you get home, it's something different. Daniel wasn't like that. The king said, you serve him continually. Daniel's testimony was made by continual service. That's why, if you notice in the beginning, it said he always prayed 3 times a day. They knew just where to find Daniel. They knew he gonna be in there. He can go up there to pray now. Did it without fail every single day, continually. Watch this. It says after the king put him in. Watch this. After the king put him in the lion's den. Watch this. He sealed it. This may have been to protect Daniel as much as to make sure someone didn't escape Daniel. Watch this. Darius knew that Daniel had powerful enemies. Watch this. It's smart. King Darius knew that Daniel had powerful enemies who might kill him if the lions didn't. Woo! He said, I'm going to make sure that if he dies, it's going to be by them lions and nobody, y'all didn't rig nothing up. So I'm going to seal this thing with my signet ring and all my nobles. So if this thing happens, we going to know it's God. Watch this. It says, and after he did that, it said his sleep went from him. He couldn't sleep. I don't need y'all to bring in no instruments to entertain me, no women, no nothing. Just leave me alone. Darius couldn't sleep. He was worried. It says Daniel probably had a better night's sleep because Daniel went to sleep with them lions. Woo! Daniel, y'all, hey, you right here. Listen to what I'm saying. With all that going on, the lions in the same Ramamanshite. Who is this for? The lions right in the room with him. Daniel went to sleep. Woo, Jesus. Because Daniel knew when I know who my trust is in, I can go to sleep. Did y'all hear me say after I got out of my feelings, I started thanking God and thinking about what he had done and how far sold I had. Oh, I slept 9 hours. Daniel went to sleep with the lions right in the room with him. Rested real good. It says Darius the one who didn't sleep. Darius is the ones who didn't sleep. Watch it. It says, we can be sure that Daniel prayed in the lion's den because it was simply his habit to pray. It's his default setting. I pray. What's your default setting? I'm going to pray. What's your default setting? I'm going to talk to God. What's your default setting? I'm going to see what God says. Daniel's default setting was to pray. He did not need, watch this, to start praying because I'm in here with the lions. I'm just going to do what I always did. Watch this. Then the next one, here come Darius. Probably scared out of his mind. Don't know what he about to walk into. Says, and he walk in and he see, watch this, that God sent his angel to shut the lion's mouth. Watch this. I did some research about these types of lions. They starved them first. They starve the lions that they're going to put in the den. And then they starve them. So when they drop you in there, they ready to eat. It ain't no, I'm so full. Oh, what is that? And I'm going to go play with it. No, I'm starving. So you mean to tell me 3 lions that are starving, that are famished, sat there and didn't touch basically some meat laying there. They did not. Watch this. And why did they not touch him? Because Daniel showed that he was grateful. Daniel prayed for what our God had already done. Daniel thanked God for what he had already done. And because of that, God sent reinforcement, an angel, to shut the lion's mouth because this boy grateful. Could it be your lack of gratefulness is why you're being overtaken by the enemy? Could it be your lack of gratefulness is why you worried and you going through and you stressing? You ain't got it. Could it be because you're not grateful for what he already done? Watch this. It says God sent his angels to rescue him. Hebrews 1:14 says angels are ministering spirits sent forth to minister for those who will inherit salvation. God sent an angel to serve Daniel's need. Watch this. Because he believed in God, in his God, Daniel persevered through faith. Watch this. Those lions, watch this, were savage and they were starved. There is no mental reason why they didn't eat Daniel, but there's a godly reason why they didn't eat him. Watch this. It says they were starved and savage, yet Daniel was kept from the paws and the jaws of these many fierce and fell lions by the power of God. It says they were savage from the wild. They were no tame like we go to the zoo and say, well, what no. What none of that. And they were starving, but they did not touch Daniel. But think about them the families they threw in there. It said their body didn't even hit the floor before them lions had broke every bone in their body. The men, their wives, and their children dead before you hit the floor. They ain't touched Daniel. Woo! What would kill somebody else is not gonna touch you. Who am I talking? Who am I talking to tonight? It's not going to touch you because you're showing God that I'm grateful for what you already done. Because Daniel was grateful, because Daniel was in continual prayer, the angel showed up and ministered to Daniel. Daniel, going to sleep. I got this. Could it be right now? God is telling you, going to sleep. I got this. I got some ministering angels that's about to work. Going to sleep. Quit stressing. Going to sleep. Watch this. Says, listen. The lions overpowered them before they ever came to the bottom of the floor. This proved that it was genuinely angelic protection that saved Daniel. It proves there was no natural reason why the lions did not eat Daniel. Daniel's accusers perished in the same trap set for Daniel. This also, watch this here. This also illustrates a principle of spiritual warfare. God will cause our enemy to be impaled on the same snare that they set for us. The trap your enemy set for you, they'll fall in it. But you got to be in right position. Oh, God. The same trap the enemy trying to set, he'll fall in it. But you got to be in the spirit of prayer. You got to be in the spirit of being grateful. And actually, that is Psalm 17, 14 through 16. Watch this. Says, and after this, watch this. The king set out a decree. Everybody gonna serve the God of Daniel. We ain't worshiping and serving no other gods. It's Daniel's God. It's Daniel's God. It's Daniel's God that we about to serve. Because I ain't never seen that like this. Them lions didn't touch him. That boy prayed 3 times a day. He continually living a life. We gonna serve his God. Because that's a real God. I don't know about these other gods we serve. We ain't seen them do nothing. But we know, I know, this is what King Darius saying. I've seen it with my own eyes. Could it be somebody watching you and they want to see what happened to you? How you persevere, how you push through with their own eyes. And it's going to cause them to be saved. It's going to cause them to cry out to God. It's going to cause them to turn from their wicked ways. Watch this. It says, the key aspects of being grateful. I'm about to close with this. Key aspects of the power of being grateful to God. It's going to shift your perspective. Drop this in the chat. It's going to shift my perspective. Your gratitude is going to move. Gratitude moves the focus from personal complaining to recognizing God's goodness and giving me a positive outlook, even when I'm in a bad situation. Daniel knew I could die if I start praying, but I'm going to shift my perspective. God is still good. God brought me out of this. God, everything God has done, it has been enough. And if he keep doing this, it's going to be enough. If he don't do this, it's already God going to get the glory. So it shifted Daniel's perspective. It moved it from personal complaining, oh, I might be killed if I pray, to recognizing the goodness of God. Number 2, it will create peace and joy. Drop that in the chat. Being grateful creates peace and joy. If I'm regularly giving thanks for God, who is, and what for God and what he has done, it will result in internal lasting peace, regardless of what I'm going through. If I'm sitting there and I'm thinking about God brought me through this, he brought me through that. God healed me. God saved me. He saved my daughters. He healed my mama. He did this. He healed my brother. He did it. And I'm thinking about all that. It is going to create a peace and a joy. Think about that. I'll start thinking on the goodness of Jesus and all he has done. They'll say, my soul cries out, hallelujah. That's what that means. We say it, but do we know what it means? Do we know what causes that? When I think on the goodness of Jesus and all that he's done for me, my soul cries out, hallelujah. Peace and joy. Number 3, it's going to, if I remain grateful, drop this in the chat, it will strengthen my faith and my resilience. Acknowledging God during trials, not just after they saw, but while I'm in it. Ooh, I'm going to stop right there. I'm acknowledging God while I'm in it, not when it's over. Because sometimes we in it, we ain't prayed not one time. I was so mad, girl, I couldn't pray. Huh? It says it's going to strengthen your faith and your resilience if you acknowledge God while you're in the trial, not after it's solved. It will build spiritual endurance and turn suffering into an opportunity for growth. If I can praise him, if I can worship him, if I can thank him while I'm in it, I'm growing spiritually. Remember we talk about gaining weight in the weight? Same thing. It's going to strengthen you. It's going to give you resilience. Watch this. 1, 2, 3. Number 4, I already said this. Number 4 is going to enhance your spiritual growth. It says it serves as a key to becoming spiritually strong. Fostering deeper humility will increase your confidence in God and reduce your anxiety. If I have confidence in God, I'm not anxious about everything. Oh Lord, when is it going to happen? Oh Lord, what if this happens? Oh Lord, what if that happens? Oh Lord, what if it don't happen? You're not like that because you're going to learn to trust God's timing. Okay. Next one. It will foster generosity. A grateful heart often leads to increased generosity and a desire to serve others. A grateful person is a person that serves. I'm going to say that one more time. A grateful person is a person that is always looking for an opportunity to serve. A grateful person is a person that's always looking for an opportunity to serve. But somebody that's always want to hand out, they ain't want to serve. A person that's always, well, I'm gonna show up on it. They're gonna put my name on. They're gonna I'm being in the video, and they're gonna say that I was there. They're gonna shout me out on Sunday if I was there. No, a grateful person, they look for opportunity to serve. Yeah, if I ain't never in the camera, if I ain't never in the shot, If you don't even see me there, I just want to serve. Says, next one, it provides healing. Gratitude can help heal the heart and clear away negative emotions. Next one. So drop that in the chat. Gratefulness provides healing. That was actually the last one. So I'm going to go back over them. What does gratefulness provide? It will shift my perspective. It's going to create peace and joy. It's going to strengthen my faith and resilience. It's going to enhance my spiritual growth. It's going to make me be a generous person. And not only that, but it's going to heal me emotionally. That's a lot of people. A lot of people, can I just say this and I'm going to get off here? A lot of people have issues, and their issue is emotions. Let me say it again. A lot of people have a lot of issues going on. You know, most of the emotions, what the majority of the emotions, the majority of the problems and issues that people have, it go back to your emotions. How I feel, how they made me feel, what I was thinking. That's emotions. Your emotions will get you in trouble every single time. But if you learn the spirit of gratitude, the spirit of being grateful, God said, I'll blow y'all mind. That's what he showed me in my rebuke this week. You just be grateful. And when I start going down that list of things God already doing and has done and sold out, I was like, you know what? Let me just have several seats and shut up. Because if he done that in a year, what in the world he gonna be done in 2? What in the world he gonna be done in 3? Oh my God, what about 5? You ain't even grateful for the mighty moves I made. And for me, it wasn't that I was grateful. It was like I almost just overlooked it for a second. I wasn't thinking about it because I started looking at something else. Listen, but you know what got me together real quick? Prayer. Listen, I love y'all. I am out of time, but definitely, y'all know I ain't never out of word. Listen, meet me in the, okay, yes, I got to drop. Somebody just told me, would you please? Okay. Many of you have already sold, but when you sow, tag that. If this word has blessed you in any type of way, tag that seed. I'm grateful. This is your seed of gratefulness. I'm grateful. I'm grateful, God, for what you already done. If you don't do anything else, you already done enough. My seed of gratefulness. Listen, I want y'all to meet me Sunday at 2 p.m. Listen, it is Mother's Day. Get your mother, your grandma, your auntie, your auntie, and all them, and get to the church. We are going to have a high time in the Lord, but there is a special presentation, a special encounter. It's going to be powerful. I am so excited about what God is going to do in that house on this Sunday. Listen, no excuses. Say that again. No excuses. 2 o'clock, we won't be there long. I can tell you that now. We won't be there long. My girls gave me orders. We got things planned. So hey, I can tell you, everything is lined up for Sunday. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be a powerful service. I'll say about 2, 3 o'clock, 3:15, we out. About 2 to 3:15, we're going to be done. Because I hope y'all ain't trying to go out to dinner Sunday anyway. Because y'all do know it's about to be cray-cray out there with all them folk and they mama when you could have cooked at home. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. But listen, I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. I pray that you find and take on. No, I decree and I declare that the spirit of gratefulness will overshadow you. That the spirit of gratefulness will overtake you. That the spirit of gratefulness will just overcome you in every area of your life. That you will be grateful for what God has already done. And let me say this, and I'm grateful for every seed that is being sown tonight, that has already been sown, that's been sown into my trip to Africa. I am grateful. Listen, I love you all. I will see you Sunday, 2 p.m. I love y'all. I decree and I declare your sleep, it shall be sweet. God bless you.